I guess some of you knew this might be coming. Gasoline Alley. Yeah, it's the new Edward John Drake movie. Yeah, he's done other such classics as Cosmic Sin and Breach and other crap that I don't really want to talk about anymore. This is like his fourth or fifth thing he's done with Bruce Willis. This one also stars Devon Sawa. Sawyer? I don't know. And Luke Wilson. It's written by Tom Soicho, can't pronounce your name, sorry, and Edward John Drake, sometimes Edward Drake, depending on the project. Now, what is this movie about? Well, it is your bog standard, boring ass giallo that devolves in bog standard B-grade action film. I'm going to spoil this movie in places, so just in case you care about the 90-minute art piece that is Gasoline Alley. I don't know. Go watch it first. Whatever. But the plot is a giallo film setup, pretty much. This tattoo artist, well, male artist, because it's happened to male artists in the giallo films, is accused of murder. And rather than the cops solving it because they're fucking useless or corrupt, the lead actor has to go solve it themselves in classic giallo fashion. Unfortunately, the music fucking sucks in this movie. In fact, before the movie even starts, I've got to watch this many production logos pop up. And then the most generic blues music and font for your credit sequence comes up. And that, combined with the production logos, goes for 4 minutes. So I'm already a little like this by the time the fucking movie started. But yeah, it's kind of giallo-esque without, interesting style, camera work, or plot and music. This movie manages to kind of fire my imagination sometimes, and it's not because of something they do, it's because of something I wish they'd done. And then I realized kind of why they wouldn't do things like that. And there's a scene where Jimmy Jane has to go to a movie set to ask some questions about, what he's been framed for or whatever. And it's on the set of this something called American Siege. And I got a little excited. I know, stupid. Because I thought, is this actually the set of American Siege? A shitty Bruce Willis movie? Are we having a meta shitty Bruce Willis moment? But no, they just use the name, probably because it's all the same production company or whatever. No one cares. And it's a TV show, American Siege. And you're just like, that's not as fun. Would have been cool if the B actors from that interacted in this. But there's this crew character that they end up talking to. Jimmy Jane ends up talking to. And he says, these fucking pearls of wisdom. He goes, you took this for the money like everyone else. Yep, that's pretty much everyone in this movie. And this show makes Dumpster Fire look like Citizen Kane. And I'm like, yep, that's pretty much these Bruce Willis movies. So I thought it would have been cool if it was something a bit more meta like that, but then they probably don't have the time, the inclination, or the budget, or they just don't give a shit enough. And I thought, that could have been fun, maybe. So after it stops being about him trying to solve the murder and stuff, it's just a bog standard crime movie with corrupt cops that you see coming. They allude to corrupt cops throughout the film, and he's too slow on the uptake to kind of put the pieces together. And I'm just like, well, I bet you it's Bruce Willis. Oh, look. He's an evil, corrupt cop again. Again. Can't you give him different roles, or does he like the same sort of roles all the time so he doesn't have to, do anything with his performance? This movie's a little cheap in areas, and a lot of areas, actually. If he's the number one suspect, why aren't they questioning him at the police house? Instead, Luke Wilson and Bruce Willis question him at his tattoo parlor. They don't have a budget for a police station. Okay. Then I'm pretty sure I see it later on anyway. The bad guys are really slow to kill witnesses. It never feels like people are after him all that much. Pretty much free to go about his mystery solving business. Doesn't feel any danger or tension around anywhere. Now, this whole thing winds up being some kind of giant money laundering scheme, which also made me laugh in a kind of meta way because that's kind of my dumb theory as to how these movies get made. It's not true, or is it? But that's my theory. How do all these movies get made? There's got to be someone washing their money somehow, all right? And this whole thing ends up being about money laundering. I don't know. It's fine. It's convoluted. I stopped trying to follow it after a while because I'm just like, whatever. Okay. And because you know where some of it's going, you're just like, do you need to be overly convoluted to get there? I can nitpick all sorts of little things, but you know what I want to do? I want to praise someone. His name is Luke Wilson. Because, man, he knows what he's in, and he turns in a decent performance. In fact, he has to do 2 fucking jobs. Because every scene he's in with his partner, Bruce Willis, Luke Wilson's, yep, 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 yep. Bruce Willis. Either 1 line, 2 lines, or no, 1 word, 2 words, or nothing. This might be the world record for Bruce Willis. The least amount of lines in a fucking shitty Bruce Willis movie ever. He barely says anything. He's in it for the start, maybe somewhere for about 2 scenes in the first 10 minutes. Then he's barely in it for the rest of the movie. Of course, what do you expect? But I didn't expect him to be in this few scenes. Like, he's barely in it, and he doesn't have any lines. Like, this is the most, maybe, egregious use of Bruce Willis I can think of yet. And I keep getting suckered in to watch these, and maybe say to you. I think I really need to watch a good movie sometime soon. I do plan on it. But first, I just really had to get this movie off my chest. It's a 2 out of 10. It's kind of boring. And at some point, it gets so convoluted that I don't know, I don't have enough time to write enough notes to follow it, and I was just like, I don't really care enough. I was just like, I can't even tell you who the murderer was of these prostitute women to set him up. I can't even remember that. I think it was some bearded dude, but I don't know. Yeah, this movie was overly long. Not that great, and maybe Devon would be more suited to a bad guy role rather than a bad boy role. I don't know. I kind of think Luke Wilson would have been a better bad boy, and I don't think he'd be a good bad boy. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. It's Gasoline Alley. It's the latest shitty Bruce Willis movie. Do you think I like this one? No. It's as bad as the others. In fact, this one might be a little lazier and churned out. I'm out of here.